Hello, Flosstube.
Greetings.
I'm Laura.
I'm Joe.
Welcome to the Silver Farm.
The Technical Difficulties Farm.
We got a newer, better web game.
Not right now, it isn't.
Except right now. It makes us look blue.
Yeah, that thing is shifted way to the violet side of the spectrum.
Don't know why. Don't know. How has your week been? How was your week last week? Because I post these on Tuesday now. And really. So it's the start of the week. So how was your week last week? Ours was there. We have started on our fence, so we should have a fenced in backyard soon.
My entire week got tossed on its head and tossed out the window. At work. Oh yeah, I need you to spend the next 3 days somewhere else. Luckily it's a good thing, but it's still like, great, I had multi-day projects I had to pawn off on other people. I hate doing that. Let me see. The comments.
Let's talk about our commenters from last week. Oh, by the way, if you're new here.
Hi.
Hi, welcome.
Buttons down below, YouTube spiel, yada yada, wada wada.
If you have no idea what we're talking about,
We'll cover it at the end. Just watch to the end.
This channel where we talk about cross stitch, that's what Flosstube is.
And if you don't know what cross stitch is, it's where you make a bunch of X's, think of them like pixels, in like the NES era. I don't know. Some of these are getting into PlayStation level of pixels. And if you get that reference, thank you for being a member of the 90s crew.
Okay. If you don't know what cross stitch is, stick around for another minute or so and you'll see.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like it, then you can go bye-bye.
Toodles.
Okay. Who are our commenters?
Bridget Lililin. 5 more from a different Bridget, then another Lynn, then a Hoosier Apple, and then an Angie Barales. Yep, you told people you like multiple comments in the last video. I think they listened.
I love it. I love it. Bridget's. The second Bridget's multiple comments are to tell me that she loves me too. Except each word has its own comment. I'm here for it. It's great. I love it. It's fantastic. You guys are my people.
And if being weird annoys you, leave now. We'll annoy you. Because I'm a little goofy!
Yep.
With a side of awkward.
And Angie also had fun with it. She said she wants to be us when she grows up. Okay. I love you, my dear friend Angie. I love you, my dear. Okay.
Angie, I hate to break it to you, but if you haven't grown up by now, you're never going to.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
Do I have to beat you with a stuffed giraffe?
We don't own a stuff. I do own a stuffed giraffe.
Yes, her glass is a mason jar with a handle.
I own a stuffed giraffe. Alright.
Oh, you just remind me of a random joke that I'm going to say now because I'm weird.
Okay.
Palpatine explaining to his dark followers how the Empire lost. Those Ewoks were incredibly potent warriors. It's like Chuck Norris went to Build-A-Bear and made an army.
I don't think that was Build-A-Bear, but...
That was the comment I saw.
Yes, I saw that. Okay, why don't we move on to whips?
Works in progress for the newbies.
Whips.
Yay!
Works in progress.
Ink circles, Dragons of Sumatra. I got that done.
It's progress.
Not much.
You're stitching that on.
16 count, picture this plus thunderstorm.
Excuse me.
And it's not signed up as Slovak Farm because I was young and stupid. That's my. When it comes to my stitchiness, I was young and stupid. Hey, there's a random comment. What things did you do when you first started cross-stitching, or other hobbies if you don't cross-stitch, that you look back now and go, what was I thinking? Like spending God knows how much on fabric, my wife could have made it for half the price. I will hear the end of that somewhere around the time St. Peter says hi. Who am I kidding? She'll remind me of that for the rest of eternity.
I love you.
I love you too.
Okay. My stitching is motivated by the prompts in the cross stitch in Daily 30.
Daily 30 is a closed group. She'll let you know if you can join.
Yes, thank you. Also, and I do cross them over with Myth and Magic Stitching Wars. And then Enchanted Stitches, and I don't.
Y'all got splatted.
We survived Monday's attack and Tuesday's attack. We didn't survive Monday's attack.
What's really funny is how many teams
Actually,
died killing you.
Just one.
I thought you said 2 got knocked out while they were attacking you.
Anyways.
I hope when you see this video tomorrow, you are driving safely. If you live anywhere near us. Sorry, random thought. Squirrel, because of the car outside. Go ahead, yours.
Okay. I had to stitch on something that could be powered by electricity. I decided that castle should be powered by electricity.
Those shoulder pads could be powered by electricity.
He's not wrong. I mean, technically, our neurons firing through our body, our nerves firing off in our body, that's electricity too.
I mean, it just has to matrix.
Yahtzee. So, this is stitched on 32 count hand dyed by the Slovak Farm. It finally has a name. Sorry, Angie. We named it Raven Queen. I did 306 stitches on it. I finished all of the one red in her dress. I'm doing a conversion that I'm coming up with on my own, swinging from the hip. And I did some of her skin. So, beautiful. Okay, sorry. Putting projects away.
She does that deal.
I just stitch on something.
I think it about sums us up, doesn't it? We do this. Deal with it.
That's my one.
Our.
The electricity is blinking. Okay.
I wonder if it's the dryer. I'll go shut that thing off. Cause I can hear it a little too well right now.
Okay.
You keep going.
So, these prompts were inspired by Niagara Falls. So, we had to stitch something that we could relate back to America, a wedding, or a horseshoe. I went with America because I wanted to put some stitches on One Nation. Oh, I got total my One Nation stitches for the month. I might be at my 1,000 stitches for WIC. I think I finished. I don't know. I finished one of my. Oh, it was shorts that I finished on WIC. Okay. This is on a piece of hand dyed by the Slovak Farm. 28 count. Dirt Road. really what I stitched on was blue over here. I finished up all of the blue. All of the blues. I'm hiding a needle miter that some people may not appreciate because it's political. So, just so you, because I know someone's going to be like, what are you doing over here?
She's practicing for the next time her shirt rips.
I'm trying to be...
No, because look where your hand is, and that is just funny.
True story. But I am trying to be polite.
Blue.
So I finished the blue stitches. All of the blue's done. So now I just have the white stars and the red and white stripes. So that was 308 stitches on it. I'm trying to remember what was on Whip Go for the month of January.
I'm sorry.
I could flip my book and look because it's in my book. I know I finished one of them. And I'm gonna go back and look. Okay, not there. Okay. I remember now what was on Whip Go for that. Okay. Had to stitch on something with water because Niagara Falls was water, right? Right.
I will say this: Niagara Falls needs more bathrooms. I'm actually not kidding. There'd be more bathrooms there. Because, by God, looking at that made me had to go to the bathroom when we were there.
Yeah, there was a lot of public bathrooms there.
So I just want to know what kind of jerks made him do that.
This is also true. There is water on Hawthorne Hollow. This was one of my whip goal projects for the month. And my stitches on it last week, from last week's video, actually finished the whip goal. But for this week, we did 309 stitches on it. So, Shores of Hawthorne Hollow is on Hand Dyed by the Slovak Farm, Cleveland Crud. I am doing my blocks so that I can individually finish them. I stitched on, and I'm not doing all of the blocks. I'm just doing the blocks with the verse and the memorial block. Yeah. So 309 stitches. Started filling in this ginormous, gigantic, oh my god, house. This house is a lot of stitches in it.
I see your house and raise you dragons.
The house has a lot of stitches in it. Okay. Something we can relate to winter. I don't remember.
OH.
Okay. Something we could relate to winter, and then we had to stitch on something that we would never want to stitch again. I didn't write down the math on that. I wrote down the numbers. I didn't finish totaling the math.
You talk, I add.
I did. No, that's not it. I worked on Scenic Farm, my dimensions kit. Guess my cover is beat the fudge up. Okay. I went way over on that. I don't remember why I went way over, but anyways.
I think just because you wanted to stitch on it?
Probably. No, I was probably stitching something from Myth and Magic given the time of when I was working on it. But this is on the 18 count kit fabric. Yes, I have pieces of fabric attached to it to make it putting it on a hoop a little bit easier because we all know how
Scroll frame.
Scroll frame. Because we all know how dimensions is about their fabric allotment. So I did 302 stitches on it for something in winter and 481 stitches on it for something I never want to stitch on again. I am working on the sky on this hat. There is a differentiation in cloudage here, but it's kind of hard to see on camera. But you can kind of see it like that. They are very close, but there is enough of a difference that they kind of looks like sky. So, yeah. There's more on the bottom too that I have to stitch in. So I'm not even halfway done with this.
I'm sorry. I love you. Don't kill me.
It's okay. I'm enjoying stitching on it. It was a bit of a bear. If you haven't heard my story on this, it was a bit of a bear because the way their half stitches were charted and called for, it just looked funny, and I don't know if it was just the thread I got or how I was stitching, but I had to alter it a little bit. It's looking great now. I've got it down now. But yeah, that was a bit of a bear. That was definitely something I never want to do again. But I'm probably going to have to because I have more Dimensions kits. Because I like Dimensions kits. They are a pretty great kit company.
Well, it's also the fact you had to stitch fabric onto it just to be able to use the piece of fabric they gave you.
I know. Well, and that's just from personal preference. Had I done it completely in hand, I wouldn't have had to do it. Which I've been stitching in hand a lot lately because my hands hurt. Okay. Oh. I also had to stitch on something. I also stitched on Shores of Hawker and Hollow as something that had the boat on it. So that was another 300 stitches on it. So I did like over 1,000 stitches. No. I did 600 stitches on Shores of Hawker and Hollow. I had to stitch on something with an item that we could find at a party. So the Never Again finished off the Niagara Falls week. Something with the Boat was a monthly. You guys probably don't care what's what. We had to stitch on something that with something that we could find that we had to stitch on something with an item you could find at a party. And I said you could find flowers at parties. Especially
and birds.
Especially if it's a garden party. I didn't add that part of it. So I did cardinal points because I wanted to put some stitches in on cardinal points. So I did 301 stitches on cardinal points. Cardinal points is on a hand dyed by the Slovak Farm 18 count Lake Effect Morning. It's a little bit of a bluer gray than Cleveland Corrupt.
Obsessed with gray.
Everything with gray and pink. And pink's not a great color to stitch.
So you like shades of white.
Yep. So my stitches were here in this border. Almost done with the top half border. So there we go. And then I actually put in 600 and I actually put in 608 stitches on One Nation. I did it for a monthly prompt of stitch on something that with something in the design that you've stitched before. I've stitched several American flags in my stitching.
Just ask Lady.
Just as the project you're about to see. Okay. So, stitch on something that sparkles or stitch with sparkly thread. Well, Mirabilia's sparkle it up because Nora likes her sparkly threads. Nora likes her beads. She sparkles it up. So I pulled out Lady of the Flag because I want to put some stitches in on Lady of the Flag.
And she's kind of holding a torch.
True story.
With sparkles coming out of the torch.
Totally going back and adding the torch because torchlight sparkles.
It's actually in the pattern. I see it on the front.
So, My Lady of the Flag does not look like this. My Lady of the Flag is stitched on 32 count, hand-dyed by the Slovak farm. And for your thoughts, I am doing her in a green color conversion. I don't remember the name of the lady from the Mirabilion or corporate conversion group who I got the conversion off of.
Go to one of our old videos, you'll find it.
I talked about it last week. I gotta remember to write it down I gotta remember to write it down and maybe stick it to the back of the pattern or something, so I remember.
Keep pristine.
A sticky note. But anyways, I did 319 stitches on it. Most of it was in sparkly stuff. I finished the sparkles in her dress, some sparkles in her dress. I finished some beads that I had forgotten about that are kind of hard to see on the camera light. And then I worked one block of red on the flag. The only reason I remember all of that is because I just did it yesterday. I just posted it yesterday, and I detailed what I stitched on because it was a little hard to tell. So
I stitched on everything!
And that's been my whips for the week. Hall did not show up today that was supposed to, so next week we're gonna
Considering the fact that I'm making a trip tomorrow? Actually, I'll do it Wednesday. Where I'm going to be is about 5 minutes from our elements.
No. I had ordered needle minders and stuff. We, because Joe had wanted a couple too, had ordered needle minders and stuff from Gina's last sale. And I figured out what the holdup was with my silk for use, and I need to email Joe. Apparently she did not pull my address off of PayPal. Thank God I got them. Okay. On to plans and announcements.
Dragons. Maybe. Hopefully. I don't know. I've been playing a game that's from like 1998. That's one of my favorites of all time. So I've been playing that because I decided to pick it up and play it again because nostalgia. Y'all pick up an old book you read. I pick up an old game I played.
There you go.
I think your books take less time. Good.
Well, it's Hedgehog Week at Daily 30. I'm amused by this.
Okay.
Vastly amused by Hedgehog Week. So, it's Hedgehog Week. So, we have to stitch on a whip with any of the hedgehog's preferred foods in it. What are a hedgehog's preferred foods, you may ask? Small creatures such as insects, worms, centipedes, snails, mice, frogs, and snakes. I have no projects with any of those on there.
Technically, you can fudge it, though.
Hmm.
Those are all the same things cardinals eat.
I did give cardinal points consideration because there's dragonflies on the corners, but those are flying insects, and technically a hedgehog would not eat a flying insect.
They would.
Well, they might, but they can't. It's a little challenging. So, probably gonna just go ahead and do alternative stitches for that. Yeah. Whatevs. Okay, so this one, I'm not gonna lie, I'm slightly confused on.
Okay.
Stitch on a piece that you would complete stitches that if your completed stitches were spines, you could cover a hedgehog. A whip that you estimate in which you have at least 5,000 stitches complete. So when I initially read that, I thought it meant a whip with more than 5,000 stitches on it. Like, that would take more than 5,000 stitches. But when you read the second part, it says you have to have 5,000 stitches on it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess I'm doing alternative stitches.
Lady.
I'm already halfway through, more than halfway through the stitches.
No, 5,000 you've already done.
I've already completed over 300 stitches on a project for it because I read it wrong the first time.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do alternative stitches for the 300 prompt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on the Lord of the Rings for that.
Okay.
Stitch on wood that has something that represents night in the design. Shores of Hawker and Hollow has a giant moon on it. Kind of a softball on that because I'm pretty sure I think the candles on Belle are lit.
I kind of wish you had a baseball stitch. Sonic the Hedgehog's favorite food is chili dogs.
That's funny. I think the candles on my Belle are lit, so I may actually do that instead of Shores of Hawker and Hollow because technically, why would the candles be lit if it wasn't nighttime? And she is in her dress that she dances on when it's night in the movie. Okay, moving along. Put stitches into a whip with something that you would have, something you have, or would like to have as a pet in the design.
Lady with dog.
Likely what I'm going to do. I also have Raven Queen because birds can be pets. Cardinal Points because birds can be pets. Shores of Hawker and Hollow because fish can be pets. Scenic Farm because sheep can be pets. I think I covered them all.
Yeah, I'm the one with the random cat stitches.
Yeah, I don't have anything with a cat on it.
Yeah, I stole it.
Stitch on a piece that has either something serious or something silly in the design, and be sure to explain your choice. And there's the Simon. I could probably, obviously, it goes either or with me for mine, so I think it's going to depend on what I feel like stitching on that day when I get to that prompt guest year.
You should do Lady of the Flag because you did a silly amount of conversions on it.
Okay.
Or Raven Queen for the same response.
Also true. The bonus prompt this week is to stitch on a whip with a hedgehog in the design. It must be a clear representation of a hedgehog. There's some cute free hedgehog patterns out there. If I get that far, I'll do it. Otherwise, I'm not going to stress about it.
You know what I would honestly do? If I was in the group, I'd go find a freebie of Sonic.
Although, to be fair, 300 stitches get you 5 tokens for the bonus prompt, whereas 400 stitches get you 4 tokens for a regular prompt. So, that one that I have to do alternative stitches for, I may stitch a cute little hedgehog. A couple cute little hedgehog, because I think I may need 2 to make it 300 stitches. I don't know.
No, jeez, now I have the opening theme for Sonic the Hedgehog 2 in my head.
Okay. That's plans for the week. Announcements. You will see 2 videos posted from us this week. We are doing a Zoom Stitch with Me. We're going to film it tomorrow night. I don't know exactly when I'm going to get it posted. We're going to gather on my Zoom room with some of our friends. We're going to chit-chat about what got us started on stitching. We're going to try to throw in some chit chat about March Mayhem on there. Maybe some folks can throw out their plans. I think it's just going to be Whip Mayhem for me because.
I'll go to Dragon Mayhem if anybody has a problem with that.
Joe's doing
You are crunchy and good with ketchup.
Joe's doing Monaga Mayhem, which is one project.
What can I say? I want to get it done. And two, so tomorrow I'm going to be doing a lot of stitching. It's going to be fun, actually.
Yes, it could. I probably shouldn't have poured that right then. My bad. Sorry. You get what you get around here. I'll throw it on there at the beginning of the Stitch With Me video, but solid disclaimer. I don't expect people to sit for an entire hour and a half while we're stitching and chatting. So they may get up and get down and, sometimes, those background noises of a dog barking, a kid crying, a husband asking a question, they happen. As much as we're going to minimize those.
We don't have the recording software to go back and cancel it all out.
Exactly. And it's real life.
With the degrees.
And it's real life, so, there's going to be, it's not going to be perfect, but that's why my friends are, and that's the way I like my friends, and that's how I want to show my friends. Because
this stuff just happens.
Stuff just happened. Look at him. Okay. So, that is all for the week.
Like, share, comment, bell notification, thingy me Bobby. The YouTube spiel. Don't forget to comment below about the thing that you had when you first started stitching that look back and go, what was I thinking? Mine is Dragons, the fabric for dragons. What's yours?
What was that?
Nativity! Nativity! Sorry.
Yep, that nativity. What was I thinking? The first time I tried to stitch on linen, what was I thinking? I have gotten, obviously, work on even weave, but I think I was a pretty young stitcher when I attempted something on linen, and it did not work out so well. And I realized that I don't really like linen because of the
chaos.
Well, yeah, the threads, it's a natural product. Even if it's a natural product, but linen, you can have thin parts of the thread, thick parts of the thread, that kind of thing.
Chaos.
So, there you go. All right, we'll see you next week.
Bye.